just witnessed what I call the insane month of artificial intelligence. In 30 days, we saw a free AI model claim to be 100 times smarter than ChatGPT. OpenAI's internal documents leak something wild called Yofo Wildflower. Google, dropping bombshells left and right, and Boston Dynamics giving their Atlas robot a brain upgrade that changes everything. But here's the real question. Are we looking at genuine breakthroughs, or is this just the biggest hype cycle in tech history? More importantly, how will this actually affect you, me, and everyone else trying to make sense of this chaos? Let me walk you through what really happened this month, cut through the marketing noise, and show you what it means for your future. Because what we're seeing isn't just technological progress, it's a complete reshuffling of global power, economics, and the way we work. The David and Goliath story that might actually be true. Let's start with the most audacious claim of the month. A tiny startup in Singapore just unveiled HRM, an AI model with only 27 million parameters that supposedly crushes models 4 times its size. Now, I've seen enough revolutionary AI breakthrough headlines to be skeptical, but this one is different, and here's why. Most AI models today, including ChatGPT, work like someone solving a math problem step by step, writing down each calculation. If they make one mistake early on, the entire answer falls apart. HRM takes a completely different approach. It mimics how the human brain actually works, with a slow strategic planner and a fast executor that constantly talk to each other in loops. Think about it this way. When you're solving a complex problem, you don't just think in a straight line. You plan, execute, check your work, adjust your plan, execute again. That's exactly what HRM does, and the results are frankly shocking. On the ARC-AGI benchmark, essentially an IQ test for AI, HRM scored 40.3% compared to Claude's 21.2% and OpenAI's 34.5%. But here's the kicker. It did this while running on a single graphics card and being trained on just 1,000 examples per task. Now, before you get too excited, there's a catch. HRM is brilliant at reasoning but terrible at conversation. It can solve Sudoku puzzles that stump ChatGPT but can't write you a friendly email. This raises a fundamental question about the future of AI. Do we want specialized tools that excel at specific tasks, or general-purpose assistants that can do everything reasonably well? My take. HRM represents something more important than its immediate capabilities. It's proof that the future of AI isn't just about making models bigger and feeding them more data. It's about making them smarter. And if a small team in Singapore can achieve this, what does that mean for the supposed moat of big tech companies? China's silent revolution. While Silicon Valley was busy with internal drama, China dropped a nuclear bomb on the AI industry, and most people missed it. DeepSeek V3.1 didn't just beat Claude Opus 4 on programming benchmarks, it did so while costing 68 times less to run. Let me put that in perspective. A coding task that cost you $70 on a closed system now costs about $1 with DeepSeek. This isn't just a technical achievement, it's economic warfare. When DeepSeek's previous model was announced, NVIDIA lost $600 billion in market value in a single day. Why? Because DeepSeek proved you don't need hundreds of millions of dollars in the latest chips to build frontier AI models. They did it for $5.6 million using older, slower hardware. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. This isn't just about building better AI. It's about China's long-term strategy to dominate the global AI ecosystem. By giving away advanced capabilities for free, they're forcing American companies to justify their premium pricing while accelerating AI adoption worldwide. It's the same playbook that made Linux dominant over Windows and servers, and Android dominant over iOS and global market share. The timing couldn't be more calculated. Right as OpenAI launches GPT-5 and Anthropic releases Claude 4, both locked behind expensive APIs, DeepSeek quietly uploads their frontier model as a free download. The message is clear. While American companies guard their AI like intellectual property, Chinese companies treat it like public infrastructure. This creates a fascinating dilemma for businesses everywhere. Why pay premium rates for closed models when a frontier-level open one is sitting there waiting to be deployed? The artificial scarcity that has defined the AI industry is crumbling, and the implications are staggering. OpenAI fights back, but At what cost? OpenAI's response came in the form of GPT-5, packed with 7 major upgrades that would have been headline news in any other month. We're talking about true multimodal capabilities: text, images, voice, and live video all in one conversation. The coding abilities that can generate 400 lines of functional code in 2 minutes. Voice interactions so natural, they adapt to conversation flow. And a memory system that actually remembers your preferences across sessions. But there's something OpenAI isn't talking about, and it's buried in their own safety documentation. They've classified GPT-5 as high risk for biological and chemical weapons knowledge. Let me repeat that. OpenAI is publicly releasing an AI system they consider dangerous enough to require special safety measures, multi-layer filters, and human oversight. This reveals the impossible position OpenAI finds itself in. They're caught between the need to compete with increasingly powerful open models and their stated commitment to AI safety. The result is a system that's simultaneously more capable and more controlled, more accessible and more restricted. The pricing strategy tells another story. At $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus, OpenAI is trying to turn AI into a utility like Netflix or Spotify. But there's a fundamental difference. Entertainment is a want, while productivity tools are increasingly a need. This positions AI as essential infrastructure, which makes the control and pricing of that infrastructure a matter of economic security. From my perspective, GPT-5 feels like a defensive move. It's impressive, don't get me wrong, but it's responding to competitive pressure rather than setting the agenda. The real question is whether OpenAI's safety-first approach will prove to be their competitive advantage or their strategic weakness. When robots get brains, while everyone was focused on chatbots, something potentially more significant was happening in robotics. Boston Dynamics gave Atlas a brain upgrade using what they call a large behavior model, and the implications are staggering. Instead of engineers hand-coding every movement, the robot now learns skills through demonstration and can adapt in real time to unexpected situations. This isn't just about making robots more flexible, it's about crossing the line from automation to adaptation. When Atlas encounters a closed box lid or a shifted target, it doesn't fail or freeze. It adjusts its strategy mid-task, just like a human would. The difference between this and previous robotics achievements is that the entire robot, legs, arms, torso, is controlled by a single AI system that treats hands and feet almost identically. Meanwhile, the robotics race in Asia is heating up dramatically. China's Unitree is teasing a full-height humanoid with 31 joints, while South Korea's WI Robotics unveiled Alex, a robot designed for muscle-like precision and responsiveness. At $5,300, these aren't industrial machines anymore. They're entering consumer price territory. But here's the reality check. What exactly would you do with a $5,300 robot in your home? The technology is advancing faster than clear use cases are emerging. Sure, it could help with elderly care or household tasks, but we're still in the awkward phase where the capabilities exceed practical applications for most people. The real disruption will happen in 3 waves. First, in dangerous or repetitive industrial work. Then in care industries where human interaction matters but physical assistance is needed, and finally in general household applications. The question isn't if robots will change the job market, but how quickly society can adapt to that change. Google's triple threat. While everyone was distracted by the chatbot wars, Google was quietly building the future of AI research, machine learning automation, and Earth observation. Their 3-pronged attack this month shows a company that's given up on competing directly with ChatGPT and is instead creating entirely new categories of AI application. TTDDR represents something we haven't seen before, an AI that can conduct research like an actual researcher. Not just search for information, but plan investigations, gather data systematically, analyze findings, and write comprehensive reports. In head-to-head comparisons, it beat OpenAI's research system on nearly 3/4 of complex, multi-step research tasks. This isn't just about automating information gathering, it's about automating knowledge creation itself. Then there's MLE Star, which could fundamentally change how machine learning works. Instead of data scientists spending weeks building and optimizing models, MLE Star does the entire process automatically. Searches for the latest models, builds pipelines, tests configurations, and iterates until it finds optimal solutions. Into 2. Kaggle competitions. It won medals in nearly 2/3 of contests, with over 1/3 being gold medals. But the most ambitious project might be Alpha Earth Foundations, Google's virtual satellite that can generate maps of anywhere on Earth at 10-meter resolution going back to 2017. This isn't just impressive technology, it's infrastructure for climate science, agriculture, urban planning, and disaster response on a global scale. Here's what connects these 3 projects. Google is building the foundational tools that other AI systems will rely on. While companies compete on consumer applications, Google is positioning itself as the infrastructure provider for AI-driven research, analysis, and decision-making. The mystery of Nano Banana, one of the strangest stories of the month, started with a mysterious AI model appearing on testing platforms with the ridiculous name Nano Banana. Users noticed it generating images that were sharper, more creative, and more contextually accurate than established models. The mystery deepened when Google employees started posting banana emojis and art references online. The reveal was worth the wait. Nano Banana turned out to be Gemini 2.5 flash image, and it represents a genuine leap forward in AI-generated imagery. This model doesn't just create pictures, it understands the physical world. It knows how objects should look from different angles, handles physics and reflections correctly, and maintains character consistency across multiple images. But the most impressive aspect isn't technical, it's economic. At 4 cents per image compared to OpenAI's 19 cents, Google is applying the same aggressive pricing strategy we've seen from DeepSeek. They're using their infrastructure advantages to compete on cost while delivering superior capabilities. 4. Content creators. This changes everything. Professional photography for product shots, marketing materials, and social media becomes optional rather than essential. The barrier between having an idea and having a visual representation of that idea has essentially disappeared. The OpenAI leak that changes everything. Perhaps the most intriguing development happened in the shadows. Mysterious GitHub repositories briefly appeared linked to OpenAI staff accounts, containing configurations for models called Yofo Wildflower and Yofo Deep Current. These weren't just any models. The configurations suggested a 20 billion and 120 billion parameter open-source GPT family, with one crucial difference. They appeared to be designed for 4-bit floating point precision. If true, this would be revolutionary. A 120 billion parameter model that requires only 60 gigabytes of memory instead of 240 gigabytes could run on high-end consumer hardware instead of requiring data center infrastructure. Simultaneously, a model called Horizon Alpha appeared on testing platforms with no attribution, no documentation, and performance that crushed everything else on creative reasoning benchmarks. The connection seems obvious, but the implications are staggering. Is OpenAI preparing to release open-source models to compete with China's strategy? Are they testing GPT-5 capabilities under a fake name? Or is this an elaborate marketing campaign designed to build anticipation? The timing suggests desperation, more than strategy. OpenAI's attempted acquisition of Cursor fell through after both Anthropic and Microsoft blocked the deal. Their planned restructuring to a for-profit company comes with a $20 billion penalty if certain milestones aren't met. Meanwhile, Chinese companies continue releasing increasingly capable open models. My assessment is that OpenAI is being forced to consider strategies they previously rejected. Open-sourcing advanced models would contradict years of safety-first messaging, but it might be their only path to maintaining developer mindshare in an increasingly competitive landscape. The broader economic implications. What we're witnessing isn't just technological competition. It's a fundamental reshaping of economic relationships. When AI capabilities become commoditized, the value shifts from the technology itself to how it's applied, integrated, and scaled. For developing countries, this represents an unprecedented opportunity. AI tools that previously required massive, capital investment are becoming accessible to small teams and individual entrepreneurs. A startup in Vietnam can now access the same core AI capabilities as a Silicon Valley giant, shifting competition from resources to creativity and market understanding. But this democratization comes with risks. As AI capabilities spread globally, so does the potential for misuse. The same tools that can accelerate scientific research can also accelerate the development of harmful applications. The same models that can automate beneficial tasks can also displace human workers faster than social systems can adapt. The job market implications are already becoming visible. Customer service roles are being automated by increasingly sophisticated chatbots. Graphic design work is being transformed by AI image generation. Basic programming tasks are being handled by coding assistants. But simultaneously, new categories of work are emerging: AI prompt engineering, human AI collaboration design, AI ethics and safety, and AI system integration. What this means for you. The question everyone's asking is, how do I prepare for this? The answer depends on who you are, but the fundamental principle is the same. Learn to work with AI rather than compete against it. For students and early career professionals, the skills that matter most are those that complement rather than compete with AI capabilities. Critical thinking becomes more valuable when AI can generate unlimited content. Creative problem solving becomes more important when AI can handle routine analysis. Emotional intelligence and human communication become differentiators when AI can process information but can't truly understand human needs and motivations. The specific tools matter less than understanding the principles. Today's cutting edge AI model will be obsolete within months, but the ability to evaluate, direct, and integrate AI capabilities will remain valuable. Learn to prompt effectively, understand AI limitations, and develop workflows that combine human judgment with machine efficiency. For businesses, the strategic question isn't whether to adopt AI, but how quickly you can adapt your operations to AI-augmented workflows. The companies that thrive will be those that reimagine their processes around human-AI collaboration, rather than simply adding AI features to existing products. The geopolitical chess game. Behind all these technological developments lies a geopolitical struggle that will define the next decade. The United States and China aren't just competing for AI supremacy, they're competing for the right to set the rules that will govern intelligent systems globally. China's strategy of open sourcing advanced AI models isn't altruistic, it's designed to create dependency. When global businesses, researchers, and developers build their systems on Chinese AI infrastructure, China gains influence over the digital economy. It's the same strategy that made American companies dependent on Chinese manufacturing, but applied to the information layer of the global economy. The American response has been fragmented. Some companies prioritize safety and control, while others focus on performance and accessibility. Some advocate for open development, while others call for strict regulation. This lack of coordinated strategy is particularly apparent when compared to China's unified approach to AI development and deployment. For smaller countries, this creates both opportunities and risks. The democratization of AI capabilities means that national AI strategies are more feasible than ever. But the dominance of Chinese and American AI infrastructure also means potential dependency on foreign technology for critical national functions. The safety question. Nobody's answering. Throughout all of this development, there's an elephant in the room that everyone acknowledges, but nobody wants to address directly. We're building systems we don't fully understand and can't completely control, and we're deploying them globally before we've figured out how to govern them effectively. OpenAI's classification of GPT-5 as high risk for weapons development, while simultaneously releasing it publicly, perfectly encapsulates this contradiction. We know these systems can be dangerous, but competitive pressure forces release anyway. The safety measures we implement are patches on systems designed for different purposes, rather than safety-first architectures. The rapid pace of development makes regulatory oversight nearly impossible. By the time governments understand one generation of AI capabilities, the next generation is already in development. The result is a regulatory environment that's always fighting the last war while being unprepared for the next one. This doesn't mean AI development should stop. The potential benefits are too significant, and the competitive dynamics make unilateral restraint ineffective. But it does mean we're conducting a global experiment with uncertain outcomes, and we should be honest about that reality. The inflection point, what makes this month significant, isn't any single breakthrough, but the convergence of multiple trends that are accelerating the timeline for AI integration across all sectors of the economy. The cost of AI capabilities is plummeting while performance is skyrocketing. Open source models are approaching the capabilities of proprietary systems. Hardware requirements are decreasing while accessibility is increasing. We're reaching a point where AI transitions from specialized tool to general-purpose infrastructure. Just as the internet moved from academic curiosity to essential utility, AI is becoming foundational to business operations, scientific research, creative work, and daily life. This transition will be messy. Not all applications of AI will be beneficial. Not all workers will successfully adapt to AI-augmented workflows. Not all companies will navigate the transition successfully. But the direction is clear, and the pace is accelerating. The organizations and individuals who succeed will be those who embrace this uncertainty while maintaining focus on human needs and values. Technology is advancing exponentially, but human adaptation happens incrementally. The challenge is bridging that gap constructively. Looking forward as I analyze everything that happened this month, what strikes me most is how quickly extraordinary capabilities are becoming ordinary expectations. 6 months ago, generating a coherent image from text was impressive. Today, we expect AI to understand physics, maintain character consistency, and edit images with natural language instructions. This rapid normalization of advanced capabilities means we're constantly moving the goalposts for what counts as breakthrough AI, but it also means we're adapting to AI integration faster than many predicted. The future isn't a distant scenario where AI transforms everything. It's a continuous process of incremental integration that's already well underway. The real question isn't when AI will change your industry, your job, or your daily life. It's how you'll participate in that change. Will you be someone who helps direct AI development toward beneficial outcomes? Will you be an early adopter who gains advantages from AI integration? Or will you be someone who reacts to changes initiated by others? The AI revolution isn't waiting for anyone. The companies releasing these systems aren't asking for permission. The competitive dynamics driving development won't slow down for social adaptation. But that doesn't mean you're powerless in this process. Understanding what's happening, why it's happening, and where it's heading gives you the foundation to make informed decisions about your own AI integration strategy. Whether you're a student choosing what to study, a professional deciding how to develop your career, or a business leader planning your organization's future, the key is matching your preparation to the actual trajectory of AI development rather than the hype or fear surrounding it. This month proved that AI development is accelerating, capabilities are democratizing, and integration is inevitable. The question isn't whether this is good or bad, it's how we'll navigate the transition thoughtfully, effectively, and in ways that preserve what matters most about human creativity, connection, and purpose. The revolution is already here. The only choice is how consciously we participate in shaping what comes next.